we've got a new Lego Bespin set. Also, the holiday special returns. All that and more this week on the Droids. Welcome back to the Droids You're Looking For, a Star Wars podcast alongside Chris and Ryan. I'm Sam. We're mic-less. I mean, we've obviously got our microphones, but we're without Big Mike.
What? Sam, I can't hear you.
Yeah,
you have
Sam.
no microphone.
Sam, speak into your mic.
Sorry,
What's
I'm
this
muted. Hold
permutation
on.
called? I think, is it the Wild Boys? Chris Pontius?
Yeah, I think this is the wild one.
The refrain of 2020. You're on mute, as they say. No, guys, we're missing the
head
alpha leader. We're missing Red 5.
Yep.
And you guys, if we hadn't told you, man oh man, in a few minutes will you know that we do not have Mike with us today.
I don't think they're going to need a few minutes,
we're
Ryan.
missing Han Solo. Make Mike happen, too.
Well, there it was.
There it is.
As you can see, Mike is...
Make
told you
Magic Mike 2 happen.
Make Magic Mike 2 happen. Wait, I think it did happen, didn't it?
It did.
Oh, yeah.
It did
It's really
happen.
good.
No, make Solo 3 happen. How's that? There we go.
I would love it.
Yeah.
I'd love it. And guys, we're
After
sorta...
this, there's going to be a campaign to make Mike solo, where he has his own podcast. Free
Wow,
us.
that was solid. Yes,
Thanks.
we are without Mike. We're one mic short of a Sabacc deck, but we'll muscle on. I know it's been a few weeks since we've been around. What have you boys been up to?
Well, yeah, we should say we're kind of just checking in on this one. Before we rolled, Chris said, let's just roll and we'll see what happens. So if you're here for we're going to have some Star Wars news. Maybe it was all told there at the top. There's a Bespin Star Wars set.
I would say news, like, let's put big old scarecrows around. Let's put scarecrows around in a circle. Okay, let's sage the house.
Sam, are you having that crow problem again?
if you come to the Droids You're Looking For, a Star Wars podcast saying, like, I love the Star Wars news, but I hate their personalities, then this might not be the episode for you.
And if you're saying, I hate their personalities and I don't care about the news, this could be also the pod for you.
Yeah, I would assume most people don't like us. Look, we're doing this. We're flying without Red 5, as I said. We're missing Mike, but we're celebrating Mike. Congrats, big guy. This one's for you.
That's an official tip of the cat dedication to Mike.
Just to Mike in general.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, if you're listening to this and your name is Mike, but I think you know, if you don't normally, Mike, this is for you, Mike. If you're listening, if you don't normally host the show with us, that little celebration was not for you.
I just want to remind people that
Here's
this is
a long distance dedication
I just
to a
want
little boy who had a dream.
I just want to remind people that this is a free podcast, so you can't ask for anything back. But you can
go listen to our episode 3 review.
Yeah, we have some good ones.
Hey,
in there. But you can.
This is not the episode we're going to be pitching the Patreon.
Yeah, if you do, exactly. This is not premium content, but maybe. If you do want to let us know how we're doing, please reach out to us, droidspod@gmail.com, at droidspod on Instagram, at droidspod on Twitter, and you can go to youtube.com/the Droids You're Looking For podcast, or search for that, and you'll find a great playthrough of Jedi, The Fallen Order, that Ryan's gone through, as well as some other content. We've done a few live streams of the episodes with commentaries. You can find those there.
Yeah.
Reach out. Let us know what you think. I know it's been a couple of weeks, and we've come back, and this is all you've got.
Well, here's the thing.
We thought we could prepare a little better.
Right. So, here's the thing. There's not a lot of Star Wars news. As people know, things are going on in the world. If you don't know that, this is not the place to find out. But here it is. Things are strange out there. There's not a lot of Star Wars news. However, we like doing the pod. Now, you could be saying, Ryan, I have friends that I like talking to. It doesn't mean that I put it out on a podcast stream, to which I say, who says you shouldn't?
Well,
the only thing between us and you is, a mid-budget microphone. You could be talking to your friends on the internet, too. We enjoy doing this. So hopefully that charm comes through, that we're just a bunch of friends who like talking to each other. And sometimes it's about Star Wars. Today, maybe not. But we're going to try.
Well, we're going to cover all the news that's out there. And if you guys...
This will be our longest episode.
If you're interested in following what's going on in Star Wars,
top 1,000
the big
Star
thing,
Wars characters.
The big thing that's probably on everybody's mind right now is what's happening with Lego.
Honestly, I think it
Lego.
should be. Lego is a perfect quarantine activity.
I
did
tried
pick
to
up my
swallow the
first
S.
Star Wars
I
Lego.
started saying Legos, and it started coming out, and then I tried to muffle it, and Ryan picked up on it. So thanks. But you're right. You're right to do it. But,
right. I picked up my first Star Wars Lego set this past week. I'm going to be doing it on stream.
Oh.
Twitch.tv/CopingMechGames, where Chris and I also do that now every Wednesday at 8 p.m., where we play retro games and their common day
I thought we weren't
counterparts.
plugging things. This is not
We've
the
been
time.
in the middle of a Star Wars series, so if you're not enjoying this episode, go watch it. Twitch.tv/CopingMechGames.
Free ad space on our least listened to episode
Samuel,
ever.
you were on the last episode.
Yeah.
I was. It was a blast, guys. We talked Star Wars. It was so fun. You should check it
playing
out.
some of the old school games and some of their newer counterparts. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, this past week, we played Force Unleashed and Jedi Power Battles, which was... Chris claims it was unplayable. We don't know if it was a skill problem.
It was like my cat was playing or something.
God, I don't doubt it. So
And-
tell us...
I was going to say a bonus of watching those is you can see what we look like.
Yeah, if you've ever wondered... If you've ever been going through the back catalog, hey, like Little Gray Bunny, if you've been going through the back catalog and you said, what do these guys look like? You can find out.
There
You can find out what 3 of them look like.
Yeah.
You ever see a picture of you listen to like a morning radio show when you're a kid and you see the picture of the people and you're like, that's not what they are supposed to look like. I often wonder if that's how people feel about us, except I'm pretty sure that the only people who listen to this are people who know us.
I think it's more often a Wizard of Oz situation. Where we're Oz.
Like like don't peek behind the curtain.
No, don't peek behind the curtain, and then you see it, and you're like, wait a second.
Very underwhelming.
It's a newer movie. Check it out if you haven't seen it.
So
look, Star Wars is very Wizard of Oz.
That is true.
There's a lot, They basically go undercover as Winkies.
here's some Star Wars news.
Let's hear
In
it.
quarantine, I finally watched The Hidden Fortress, the Kurosawa movie that Star Wars is largely based upon.
Yes.
Ooh,
And I'll tell you what,
do tell.
that movie owns. It's awesome.
Is that an
One,
official tip?
it is like Star Wars so was based on it that someone should consider suing. My dog is going to sue.
Wow.
I think I was gonna say.
And I highly recommended it. I watched it on the Criterion channel. It was great.
Must be nice.
This Akira Kurosawa, who knew? What a great filmmaker. And man, the production value is through the roof.
I think I mentioned this on Then and Now when I was on last week, and the main game I've been playing recently is the Ghost of Tsushima on PS4,
Yeah.
and I've been having a lot of fun with it. It's very much like in the vein of an Assassin's Creed game, or kind of like Red Dead in terms of like a free roam world with a lot of like open world mission structure and stuff, with some light like character RPG elements. It's really fun, but it's having the same effect that Red Dead Redemption had on me in terms of like when I was playing that game, I immediately was like, I'm watching every Clint Eastwood and John Wayne movie known to man. I'm going back through and watching both True Grits in a week, and everything. And this has had me... I haven't watched anything, but I did pick up... Yojimbo again. Because that was one that I saw back in school, and I loved it.
Yeah.
And so maybe I'll... not Throne of Blood. Which one did you just say? Hidden Fortress?
Hidden Fortress, yes.
Yeah, so maybe that'll go on the list next.
Yeah.
But it's like this game, Ghost of Tsushima, is clearly very derivative of and like attempting to pay homage. You can debate how successfully to like the films of Akira Kurosawa, and so something's beeping. Sorry about that, guys.
And Yojimbo is also a fistful of dollars.
Yes, it is, and Last Man Standing with Bruce Willis.
Yeah, how about that?
Another thing I learned while watching it: Toshiro Mifune, Akira Kurosawa is kind of like leading man.
Mm-hmm.
What a hunk!
Also,
goodness.
First of all, total hunk. Also, was supposed to be Darth Vader.
Really? Well, there you go. The universe.
But they were afraid it would draw too much attention to the parallels.
I don't know if
I'm not sure if that's maybe they might be litigious.
I've never seen that one before. I don't know what that is.
Oh, I had it. He turned. Get this, guys. All right, this is coming from HollywoodReporter.com. He turned down the roles both of Obi-Wan and Darth Vader because he was worried it was going to look cheap. That's according to his daughter, Mika.
I mean, I think if you were to go on set at that time and see everything going on,
if you're that guy and you've been in Kurosawa's movies already, and you're looking at like, this like 25-year-old or 30-year-old kid from California is trying to sell me on making it look like we live in an old space village.
And he had a table full of plastic models.
Yeah, the guy. It's a miracle Alec Guinness wanted to do it.
We all read his letters. I've read his letters.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
Well, money's a hell of a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But so this was all. I'm trying to. Lego. What do they got? They got a Bespin set coming out.
It's a 1/6
cool.
scale Bespin set. Like my brother and myself made in my basement.
It's 1/6 the size of the real Bespin.
Can you imagine how big that thing must be? No, it's like one of the Lego, like I don't know the name of the series, but it's like very official looking, as like a little placard with it. It's not like your normal play sets.
It looks like Lego like Black Series.
Yes, exactly.
Or something.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It looks like a very high quality build. I'm sure it's extremely limited edition. And I don't know the pricing on it or anything, but it looks pretty cool. And it's a pretty fair representation, I think, of the scene.
It looks very nice.
It's the hand cutting off scene, yes?
Yeah.
It is.
Yes.
It's the hand cutting off,
cool.
and it's the big twist scene.
Yeah.
And it looks
That's impossible.
It looks like they give Luke a couple different faces too, which is kind of cool. It looks like they give him the impossible face and and just like a straight face.
The impossible face is the face without any meat in it, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's all a dye they add to it later.
They won't tell you
it's
what's
because
in it,
it's after his car accident. There was so little meat left. They had to build him a plant-based face.
Oh boy.
Mark Hamill and his meatless
I'm sorry.
face.
Was that too far or too soon?
I don't know.
Jeez.
I'm just thinking about burgers now.
It has a nice little 40th Empire.
Yeah.
40th anniversary for Empire, Lego plaque that's part of the base that it comes with. It actually looks really nice.
It does look very sweet.
I don't want to play this down. It kind of looks like you could put it together in like 15 minutes.
That's the problem with some of these Lego sets, is that I'll look at them. I either need the giant one where I'm like, this will take me 2 weeks, or I need the ones where they're more abstract, so you're building a miniature one. It's these in between sets that kind of get me a little bored. But this one, I think, has a certain
first of all,
flair to it.
You're gonna buy this because I lived with you for 6 years, and I know that this has your name on it. This is exactly the kind of thing you buy. But also, even if it looks slightly simplistic, they have to strike a balance between making it something that fans like us or older fans than us would want to put on a mantle or a shelf somewhere and display, but also easy enough that Star Wars is for kids. At the end of the day, it's always been for kids. It's always been that. So let's not. It's great that we have the 8,000 piece Millennium Falcon or whatever it is, but you
could tell too
this is
that
serving a different
it's
master
meant for I think a more adult audience. First off, by the placard, but then also they don't have any of those cheater pieces where it's they could have easily built a piece that is just the shape of one of these beams or something. It's like all pieces.
No,
You can
it
also
is
tell
all-
that it's more
yeah.
of an adult piece because of all the nudity.
Which I was surprised because that wasn't in the movie. But I kind of
Yeah.
get it now. It's a metaphor. I understand.
I'm into it. I gotta say, I'm into it. And they, the
So,
I don't
multi-purpose-
remember all of Cloud City being made of male genitalia.
So if you're listening to the pod, is it true all of our listeners will get the chance at going to the website and seeing it on StarWars.com? Because we're reminding them you can see the whole thing at StarWars.com.
StarWars.com/news/empire.
Do you know this was StarWars.com was like one of the
40.
first websites I've ever gone to?
Yeah,
of
it's like
course
one of
it
those
was.
things that when they're like, they're like, there's a, like, I remember just being like, I need to go. I wonder if there's a Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly. You just go online and you just typed in your favorite things. It's very cool. I love the Lego Star Wars thing. I think that we need an era because I think we're gonna have some resting time with the movies. I feel due to just.
Oh, is that what you feel?
That's how I feel.
You feel that way?
It's my opinion, even though they've said it for a few years. I think we need to kind of embrace the kind of the goofier side of Star Wars for a little bit now, and I love. It kind of goes into our next topic here is the Lego remake of the Star Wars Christmas special. Or holiday special, I should say.
Oh boy!
Oh boy!
Oh boy! Is it a? It's not. I think it's a new thing.
Well,
is it a remake?
I feel like it's in that same spirit, like the.
Oh, I think it's definitely going to be in
Yeah.
the same like weirdo,
Yeah,
silly
that's-
spirit. But I don't think.
I mean,
it's,
I know we're not journalists, but that's a different way than reporting it as the Lego remake.
Well, I mean, it's being remade with Legos. It's discover the true
Lego.
meaning. Lego.
People, I'm saying this because I want to be the good guy. The Lego
Yeah.
fans out there, they're
Yeah.
screaming at their phones.
I
when
said
every
Lego.
time you say Legos.
I didn't say Legos. I said Lego.
You said Legos. Roll the tape back.
Roll the tape. Lego. See? There you go. The true meaning. Learn the true meaning of life. It's because I said Lego Star Wars. Does that sound like I said Legos?
I don't want to litigate this.
Oh,
anymore.
there you go. All right. Learn the true meaning of Life Day with a festive celebration of the entire Skywalker saga in the charming Lego style, debuting November.
There it is
17th.
again, Legos style.
See, see. I hear what you caught. Lego police over here. But it is going to be a reimagine. I don't know what you want to call it. It's just the new holiday special featuring Legos. It's a parody. I have enjoyed all the Lego Star Wars stuff prior to this. I think they've been a lot of fun. They've been very strange.
They're really funny.
There's a weird obsession with a cookie in Han Solo, which I can't understand.
It's probably some TikTok thing or something.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I've seen that a lot. Even like the Han Solo action or Lego figure.
I didn't kill my TikTok.
Yeah.
You think Harrison Ford has heard of TikTok?
I think he's on
No.
Do you think he's ever TikToked himself landing on the wrong runway?
Oh,
It looks like a lot of fun. I'm excited for it.
You could joke about Mark Hamill's meat face, but I can't make a joke about Harrison Ford landing on the runway.
It's just Ryan. I just I feel like I had some delicacy to what I said. You know.
Yeah. It's like we all landed on that runway, you know?
Someone's been playing Microsoft Flight Simulator. We've got... It looks like it's all over the place. I'm seeing Finn, Rey, and then the Clone War cast. Lots of different people in this thing. I'm scrolling through it. I'm scrolling through it. Looks like it's all over.
I don't
Rose
even
is
know
there.
if we can release this.
I see Chewbacca. Then there's just... No, what threw me off was like there's just a guy in a sweater, which I might be assuming is Poe. It's kind of funny.
Do you remember when Harrison Ford crashed his plane when they were making Force Awakens?
What, were you bringing it up again?
Yeah, of course.
Yes, yeah.
This is real. Someone I know I worked with, they saw him at the coffee shop down the block from our office that morning.
Yeah?
Before that, and
Yeah.
they had said loudly, he was in front of them in line, and they said loudly, "You know where I always wanted to land a plane? A golf course."
Your
And
friend
he
said
turned
that? or-
around. Yeah, and he turned around and he said, "Me too."
He went.
Me too.
Everything was true until the golf course part. They
Uh,
did see him that morning at the coffee shop
Wow.
right before.
What did he order?
Two steaming hot piles of whoop ass.
Um,
And a
Chris,
bran,
did you
and
say
a
that-
bran muffin.
Chris, Chris, did you say the date that this will be on Disney Plus?
yes, I did.
August 27th.
November 17th.
Looks like it's out 1978. I think it's out now. November 17th, 2020 on Disney Plus. Did you say 2020 or 2020? I like saying 2020.
Whoa. Man, we're reaching new levels.
Yep. Rey, Finn, Poe, Chewie, Rose, and all your favorite droids from R2-D2 to BB-8 for a joyous feast on Life Day.
No.
The holiday first introduced in 1978. I wonder if the fabled cartoon for Boba Fett will be in it.
I'm curious. Here's what I'm really curious about is like this whole thing that like where Favreau was like, "Hey, check it out! We're making the holiday special canon." And Lucas was like,
Yeah.
"I don't want that."
Yeah.
Like, does this feel like weird in any way that like Disney is like Disney's doing the right move from a corporate side, right? Where they're saying like, "Hey,
it's fan service,
you embrace it's fan service, and you embrace the franchise and the property, warts and all, and you make lemonade out of lemons," right? Is like the idea, and it's like, what better to do with Lego Star Wars than to like turn the holiday special on its head and make like a good version that's fun. It's super smart from like a brand and marketing perspective. But there's also this thing where it's like you bought this from a man who's like,
please stop.
One of the most like cringing worst moments of his experience of this franchise was when he licensed it out to a TV network and they did this for real.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't
think it's fair to call Jon Favreau a TV network.
God willing that
He's an empire.
George Lucas will be with us, for a long time yet to come. But like, this is the kind of thing that I feel like you do in like 30 years, or something.
Sam,
is this going to be like his Go Set a Watchman, where they're like, I'm not sure if George was like really aware of this.
You guys know he's coming back though. He's now the head of Lucasfilm.
Oh, right. This is on Cosmic Book News.
It's on Cosmic Book News. They broke the story first. No, I think it's fun. I get it, though. Yeah, it's like, this is the thing he hated, but it's the thing he always kind of kept secret. I think...
Maybe they're trying to force George into, like, lightening up about it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's all for him.
Hey, if he can make Star Wars Family Guy, I think this is way more fine than that.
I don't think he made that.
Well, I mean, if he was cool with it, he had to. I know he didn't single. I know who makes Family Guy.
Well, I heard this. I listened to a podcast recently with Ahmed Best where he was saying that he did a Robot Chicken episode, and I think it was maybe related to the holiday special or something. But he did a Robot Chicken, and they like did the whole thing and got it all ready, and then like Disney like stopped it.
Right.
And he was like, "Yeah, we could never release it because it didn't like pass muster or whatever." So there's clearly some thought and certain things they're leaning into and certain things they're not.
Yeah.
Like I don't think we will ever.
Disney has
I don't think we'll
for
ever
Seth
see
Green for a long time.
I don't think we'll ever see like Blue Harvest on Disney Plus.
I agree with that, but I do think we will probably get a Lego parody series of all the movies.
Oh God, I hope
Every
that would be
Lego
great.
thing I've seen is so funny.
Except the Lego thing that ruined the ending of Revenge of the Sith. For me.
Right, of course.
right.
That wasn't funny. Although it was kind of funny the way they animated it.
I mean, it's funny now.
The little Lego
certainly.
body split in half. It was pretty funny.
So
yeah, that'll be fun. I'm excited for that. I mean, that's good Star Wars news.
I thought of something Star Wars related.
Yeah.
That I've been doing. So I've been reading the book Master and Apprentice, which is the book about. It's the prequel of the prequels about ObiWan and Qui-Gon Jinn.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you guys probably know why I picked it up.
We had that hair on the cover.
It's got my boy.
It's an epic
Qui-Gon on the cover.
It's an epic cover.
I have to say, I certainly don't mean any offense to Claudia Gray, who I'm sure worked very hard, but it's kind of exemplary of like why I think like serialized franchise books based on popular like series don't work. Like it's really, I don't know if I'll be able to finish it. It's a really bad book, you guys.
Does it make any mention of Qui-Gon having the biggest lightsaber in the business?
No, it's trying to it's basically trying to to sort of start the characters in a different place than where we find them at the beginning of Phantom Menace, and then gradually, clearly, like bring them to that place. So, Obi-Wan is his teenage Padawan. It's right at the beginning. Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan are very not in sync as master and apprentice. They don't have a good master and Padawan relationship, and like they don't seem to like work well together. And it's been several years, and the council offers Qui-Gon a seat on the Jedi Council, which will necessitate he would no longer be able to be a master to Obi-Wan. And they've built this whole story around like slave ships on a outer rim planet and stuff, and it's, I don't know, it just, everything you read in it really does feel kind of like,
did it just come out?
This came out like I think it came out a year ago.
Okay, well, that's
Or I mean,
it's not
like,
a part of
it's not
like the new push.
Sorry,
Must be.
It's part of. Well, wait, you guys.
Well, it's not a part of Project Luminous.
It's not part of Luminous. It is part of like the post Legends era of like novelizations and stuff. And
it's currently canon.
Cool. It's a New York Times bestseller. Maybe our friends at Mean Book Club could pick up a copy.
Oh, that would be. I will make this recommendation.
Yeah.
It truly reads like a first pass.
That's
I
great.
think. Which, by the way, if people don't know, I think it's been a few episodes. I think since we've mentioned Mean Book Club, which is a great podcast run by some friends of ours. Four ladies
maybe one
who
day
read,
we'll be on it.
Four ladies read New York Times bestsellers that don't deserve the acclaim, and they rip them to shreds, and it's very,
great.
very funny.
It's great.
I think
They're the best. And we've had have we had all of the Mean Book Club on the show?
Almost all of them, yeah.
I think almost all of them, if not all of them. But we've had a few past guests.
Yeah,
and that's why we've all been on their show.
Not so much.
Let me ask you a question. This is a Star Wars question because you're talking about a young Padawan.
Yeah, hit me.
And
with
I
it.
understand that in Empire, I'm not naive here. Like Yoda says, like too old to become training.
I can answer this now.
Is there an old You know how like sometimes people go to a UCB 101 class and there's like a 65-year-old man
like,
there.
What's he doing? He's really funny.
Exactly. And that's cool. I think it's cool that people do that. But is there a Padawan that's like later in life? They were like, it was either this or rip tickets at the movie theater, and like I need something to fill my days.
At the space opera
is the answer. So what they actually do is the Jedi most so they're it's like basically like at birth Jedi who will become Padawan are like brought to Coruscant and kept in a creche, which is kind of like their like
a nativity set.
They
played Jesus.
It's like your little school. It's like the school of fish you come up with.
Is it
Master Anakin, what are we going to do?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
They made a point
that's where the younglings go.
There's a character in Master and Apprentice called Rael Averroes, who was Dooku's apprentice prior to Qui-Gon being Dooku's apprentice.
Right. So Dooku would probably be in this book.
Dooku is... so far, he's not in the book. He may. I'm about 30% into the book, according to my Kindle. But there is a book that precedes this about Dooku leaving the Jedi Council and the Jedi Order, and he goes to become a count on some planet way out there. And so he's basically like a ruler of a planet. How he became Count Dooku.
True or false? The name of that book is Dooku Doo-Doo.
True. And
Dooku,
true.
I hardly know Ku.
True. Too true.
Dooku.
But they've set it up where and Averroes was someone who, so as Dooku's previous apprentice, Averroes was brought to Coruscant at like age 3.
Okay.
And therefore had memories, like very faint memories of his home planet, and he was deemed like too much of a rebel and too old because having a tie to a place other than Coruscant and the Jedi Order like
interesting.
makes them too emotionally compromised to be like truly in touch with the Force, or something.
So it's dark.
That's kind of weird.
It's real dark.
Do you think
dumb.
that? Do you think that the book is trying to? I feel like with a lot of stuff now, they're trying to fill in some like story points or building something or making a reasoning for something that wasn't apparent before. Do you think that this book is doing that, or is it kind of just off in its own world?
I think. Well, I do think it's doing that. Although I don't think that the book was written as any kind of like retcon or to correct or improve things. I think what they did was, I just think this is, again, no offense to.
Yeah.
Look, they got me to buy it, and because it's characters I like. But the thing is, it's low hanging fruit. They said, okay, there's two popular characters, and there's a history before we go back to before that movie, and we're gonna see, fill in the gaps. And so they just pluck lines out of the movie. Oh, but Master, you turned down a seat on the council, and it's like clearly we're working up to ObiWan or to Qui-Gon turning down the seat on the council.
It is a bridge to the world that the kind of the New Republic thing is leaning towards. So, like, I guess you can have your hook there,
maybe
right?
We'll see. Look, there's a world in which Project Luminous falls very much in, like, from a story group perspective with what this book did, and maybe that would be cool. This book just feels like it. Honestly, it feels rushed. It feels like a first draft in a lot of the paragraphs. It's just like, oh boy,
I feel like I think the Star Wars books. A friend of the pod, Tony, gave me donated to me a lot of the old Star Wars books that he's read. I feel like it's just a different world.
Those are the ones that he donated to you. He said, "Bring these to the children's library," and you said, "Donated."
I said, "Don't worry, I got you." Wink, wink. And then the kids never got the books, the younglings. But I feel like it's a world that you have to like be in, and then each book you like subsequently enjoy more and more, as opposed to like kind of jumping in after the fact. I don't know. I feel like you need to start at the beginning of those books, and then it kind of establishes like, all right, here's the book universe.
I mean, it's like no one's ever like, my favorite books are The Goldfinch, Lord of the Flies, and Splinter of the Mind's Eye.
No,
you know what I mean?
And the problem is like I did read the Thrawn Trilogy from Timothy Zahn, and like there were some clunky bits where it's like clearly, he was working from a story structure and then threw in, lines here and there for a little bit of, Star Wars color, of like a planet name or a species or something that, we would recognize as readers. That kind of shit like drives me nuts. But like this is like only that stuff. And it's just, there's no voice to, like, Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon don't sound unique or like themselves. It jumps between, like, it's exposition via dialogue or exposition via, like, a thought that then is repeated in dialogue moments later. It's like...
Oh, Catatonia, it'd be a terrible place to have business.
Honestly, it's like, it's not far off from that kind of stuff, man. It's rough, and, like, they're setting up, like, basically all the people that seem to, like, Yoda and Qui-Gon seem to have, like, respect for each other. Well, in this book, like, Qui-Gon is doubtful that Yoda trusts him, and, like, Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon don't work well together, and they're a mismatched pair. And Qui-Gon is looking forward to joining the council because it will, like, relieve him of this, like, failure. It's like...
I get,
what?
Yeah, there's some things in, even, like, in the prequels where, like, you read about it, where it's just, like, Anakin, super rebellious, and then, like, you watch the movie and you're like, he doesn't seem that rebellious. They seem like they're buds. Like, I feel like sometimes some of that stuff gets, like, lost in translation, but then when you read it written down, it's, like, very deliberate, and you're like, it doesn't seem like that's not the case.
This is all by way of saying, I am trying to quench my Star Wars thirst with some other materials, some other media out there. I did truly enjoy the Thrawn Trilogy, so if you haven't read that, I'd recommend it to our listeners. I think Timothy Zahn has had a few more books come out since I just read the first three, like the three in that trilogy.
They brought him back recently for something.
I think he came out with a book recently. I'm inclined to say, if you've never read something and you're like trying to decide, I haven't read the new book, but I'd be like, it's probably better than what I'm reading right now. But it's fun.
Hey.
It's somewhat scratches the itch, but it's not the same as watching the movies.
Well, hey, I mean that's what we do as Star Wars fans, though. We're looking to scratch that itch.
He just Timothy Zahn just wrote in 2013. He wrote Scoundrels, which is a story about Lando, Chewie, and Han.
Wait, is this real?
Yeah.
Wow. So
I've been saying that's what they should have called it.
So Ryan,
forever.
when did you first say that?
He also
And when
did.
did he write that book?
Sorry. So 2013 must have been cryptomnesia on my part. He wrote a Thrawn trilogy, but from 2017 to 2019. That's now like the canon of the Thrawn trilogy.
I have 2 of those books.
Because Thrawn now is canon because he was featured in Rebels. Also,
yes, correct.
You're talking about Heir to the Empire, Dark Force Rising, and The Last Command?
No, he wrote Thrawn Alliances, and Thrawn Treason.
Yes.
Oh, so I read the ones I just said,
yes.
and I have not read the ones you just said.
You read the original Thrawn trilogy,
and then,
which were by many considered to be the unofficial episodes 8, 9, or 7, 8, and 9.
Correct,
and
which
then,
are very good. Yeah. And they're not as good as the actual episodes 7 and 8, but they are far better than episode 9.
Well, there you go.
Also, there's a graphic novel version of them.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So he wrote a new trilogy about Thrawn, post Legends.
Yeah, it was kind of in response. They were since his Thrawn trilogy was declared non-canon. He kind of made a Thrawn trilogy that was canon.
Well, this guy seems to, honestly, he seems to have the voice of Star Wars. He seems to, like, get it and have, like, the right level of sort of, like, allegiance to and like, pedanticness to, like, within the world, but also enough, like, creative impulse that it's, like, I think this guy could write a pretty good book on his own, you know?
Yep.
Like, that's not tied to Star Wars. Like, I think he's, like,
and
probably
he's written
a decent
many.
Well, and that, so, like, I buy that, right? Whereas, like, sometimes with these, like, novelization and tie-ins, you're just like, oof, how do we land on this person? And how do we land on this story? Because this doesn't feel like this person would be writing books if they weren't writing this book, you know?
Yeah.
Like, this person isn't an author.
Yeah. This guy is very prolific. I'll tell you what.
Well, I'm gonna check out the other Star Wars stuff he's done because those were pretty good, and I read them a while ago.
He also wrote some novelizations of Terminator Salvation.
Yeesh.
Some StarCraft stuff.
Well, now did that have the scene with like walking around in the background?
It seems to be that it's just more. It's a tell-all about when when Christian Bale freaked out on Shane the DP for moving a light behind Bryce's head.
Aw.
Love it.
Well, see, we got some Star Wars stuff in there.
I think we really, guys.
Can you believe we've been recording for 4 hours?
That's amazing.
If you're still with us right now, go back to the beginning of this episode and ask yourself, did I think they were going to make it?
Hey, we did. It turned into a delightful little book chat. Hey, this is what happens when you say just roll with it.
Oh, boy. Oh, we're never going to live this down.
But if you did enjoy this, please write us, droidspod@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram @droidspod, Twitter @droidspod. Go to Facebook, search the Droid You're Looking For podcast. Go to YouTube, search the Droid You're Looking For podcast. You can look at listen to some of our past episodes there. Also a playthrough and some of our live commentaries. If you ever wanted to see what we look like, that's your opportunity. You can follow Ryan playing games online via Twitch on twitch.tv/copingmechanics. And
Coping Mech Games.
Coping Mech Games. Couldn't get Coping Mechanics?
No, I couldn't.
Yeah, fair enough. Coping Mech Games, it's the best second option. And then I think that about covers all of our opportunities to talk to us. Oh, if you like this podcast, didn't like this podcast, whatever, rate, review us on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever podcasts are distributed. It really helps us and helps get the word out there.
And it helps you.
Promise, it helps you just get some stuff off your chest.
Blow some steam off.
Yeah, really, let us have it. But I think,
Yeah?
That's right.
Go on.
Go on. I think that'll do it. Right? Are we good?
Yeah.
That'll do it
that'll
for the
do it.
droids
That'll
we're
do it.
looking for.
I didn't know. I've
a
never done
Star
that before.
Wars podcast. Annie?
Annie? Oh boy,
Oh,
Mike, come
God.
back.